As we reach the halfway mark in the boys soccer season, we get our first look at the Durfee Hilltoppers here this afternoon at Matt Galdridge Field. Evan Massoud with you on Fred TV for Big 3 boys soccer. The New Bedford Whalers coming to Fall River for a heavyweight matchup here in the Big 3. These teams have already faced off against each other once, and that was at New Bedford. Durfee was victorious 2-1 in that game, a really close, highly contested soccer match. They haven't seen, the Hilltoppers have not seen Brockton yet due to a rescheduled game, so they're going to see them kind of twice in almost a week's time towards the end of the month, kind of wrapping up the season. But for now, Durfee hoping to go up 2-0 in the Big 3 over New Bedford. Durfee 8-0-1. Yes, they have not dropped a game yet here in 2018. New Bedford 4-3-2. And both teams very senior heavy. A lot of graduates to be on both rosters. So needless to say, for both sides, this is a year to try to get something done in terms of going deep into the playoffs, because they got a lot of core pieces here on both rosters. So we're thrilled that you can be here. This is a pretty crazy Friday, and it is amazing to believe that literally less than 10 hours ago, we were in torrential rain, and now the sun is out. I mean, as of even 10 o'clock this morning, it was just absolutely monsoon-like. And here we are, a 3:30 start, and we have sunshine, and it's just dry. It's beautiful. In fact, game time temperature here is 62 degrees. Not bad for October 12th. This was supposed to be actually a night game on Thursday, but here we are Friday. We had to move it because of all the rain we've had in the last 24 hours. Danny Keys on the throw-in here. Good throw-in, about 20 yards. So, yeah, we're thrilled that it's dry, and there's a football game right after this as Brockton comes to town for a 7 o'clock game. Inside the field house during this match, we'll have a volleyball match going on as the Lady Whalers are here to face off against the Lady Hilltoppers. So Big 3 action all around. Lots of sporting events going on here at Durfee High School on this Friday afternoon. So if you're watching this game, you'll be able to catch Week 6 football against Brockton also on Fred TV this week. And you'll also see that volleyball match with the Lady Hilltoppers and Lady Whalers this week as well. Brendan Kelly, the boys' volleyball head coach, will have the call for that one since I'm out here for back-to-back games. That one will go out of play. Hustling down to try to get it was Nilanera. It'll be a corner kick for the New Bedford Whalers. Durfee in red, New Bedford in white. And the kick coming from James Matos, a captain. That is off the toes of Alex Cabral. Comes back towards the 30 and played up by the Hilltoppers. Ooh, almost losing the footing there was Zenadine Pina. Now a chance for the Whalers, and it's good. A collision with the Hilltoppers goalie. And the Whalers score. We have 2 guys down and hurt. Zach Massa with the collision there. The goal will count less than 3 minutes into the game, but 2 players down on the field after a hard-nosed collision, both not giving up on the play, and both players hurting right now. We're in an injury timeout here. We'll run down the starters. For New Bedford, the goalie is a freshman starter for the Whalers and Coach John Mazzaracco. Number 1, Ethan Ramos. Number 2, Damon Green, a forward. Number 3, Cameron Montero on defense. Also on defense, number 4, Noah Medeiros. Montero and Medeiros are captains. Number 5, Marcel Souza. Number 6, Jacob Ramos, all on defense. Midfielder and forward, Gil Antunes is number 7. Number 11, Elmer Barrientos, a midfielder. Number 13, Simplice Tang, a forward. Number 14, James Matos, who had that corner kick a moment ago. He's the other captain. There are 3 for the Whalers. And then finally, number 19, Jonathan Muniz. For the Hilltoppers in goal, Zach Massa, and unfortunately still down for Durfee. So Zach in goal, number 12, and then we'll have number 4, Nilan Nera, a defender. Number 7, Jeff Cabral, a forward, and he's scored quite a few goals this season. We've seen him in the Herald News quite a bit. He's having a great season as a senior. Javier Beltran, number 8, he's a midfielder. Zenedine Pina, a midfielder, he's a captain. Ethan Williams, number 10, he's a midfielder. Number 16, Christian Souza, a midfielder, he's a captain. Number 17, Armando Franco, a defender. Number 18, Danny Keys, a defender and a captain. Number 20, Jonah Andrade, a midfielder. And number 21, Alex Cabral, a captain, is also a captain who's not starting. Kyle Neves, Zach Massa, the goalie, is also a captain. So 6 captains for Tiberio Mello, the head coach of the Hilltoppers. That's got to be some kind of record. I don't know if I've ever seen 6. But good for the team. They obviously got a lot of leaders here. You see our Coach Mello is down there on the field right now. Is still tending to Zach Massa. Kelly Mahoney, our trainers, out there as well. So we're in a break here. The clock is stopped at 36:28 for this injury timeout. We're going to step aside on Fred TV, and we will be back with more first half action from Durfee High School. Okay, we're back at Matt Galdridge Field. Good to see Zach Massa up, but getting some help walking around, and I think he's going to be driven off the field by our trainer, Kelly Mahoney. You see Athletic Director Brad Buston there as well, standing with his back to us, checking him out as well. So there's going to be a change in goal here for the Hilltoppers 3 minutes into the game. And again, New Bedford out to the very early 1-0 lead as well. You don't see too many collisions like that. At least we haven't here at Durfee in a while. But that was a pretty ugly collision between the goal scorer for New Bedford and our goaltender here for the Hilltoppers, Zach Massa. So it was good that Zach got up, and he seemed to be putting pressure on both legs. So I'm not sure where he took the hit exactly. But the good news is he was at least walking, even though he had some help. He didn't have to be carried to the cart. But nonetheless, he's going to be leaving the field. And you hear the crowd giving him a hand as well. So play will resume now after really about a good solid 5 to 7 minutes here. The clock did stop, so when that clock stopped, that's when we won't have to make up anymore. So those whole 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, we won't have to make up in its entirety because there was a full injury timeout there. So coming out of the goal, it's 1-0 New Bedford, and we'll see Jeff Cabral kick it off here from the circle. And I do want to correct myself as well. There are not 6 captains here. It appears that our roster is incorrect here. So scratch that. The starters are correct, but the captains here on our sheet are actually incorrect. So we'll get that straightened out as well. Kind of a stretch backwards there. That's twice we've seen a player lose their footing. You know, I asked Coach Mello about the field here. Given how much rain, I mean, we've got like inches of rain in less than 24 hours between, say, yesterday around 2 or 3 o'clock and this morning wrapping up around noon. And the field was really, like, you could see puddles on the field from the library, the IMC here at Durfee this morning. And, it's not muddy because it's field turf. It's not grass, so that's a plus. But it still is slippery. I mean, like anything else when you get water on it. So the field is still kind of wet. So we'll see if that ends up playing a factor. Coach Mello said, it will speed up the game. As we'll have a corner kick here for New Bedford. Second time they've gotten a corner kick, and most of play has been in Durfee's side of the field here. So New Bedford putting pressure on early. Again, already out to the 1-0 lead. That is lofted out of play off the head of Alex Cabral, and we'll redo. Loose ball coming the other way. It's a foot race to the ball, and it'll go out on the sidelines. And it should be the Whalers throwing in. Throwing backwards, and now cleared out by Ethan Williams. Coming to the sidelines, out off of New Bedford Hill. That kind of worked out in Jonah Andrade's favor, kind of lost his footing a bit, and it went out off of the Whalers. Danny Keys will throw in. Sent right towards the middle off the foot of Jonathan Muniz. And he gets it back again, lofts it to the other side. Now that's going up and towards the sideline. Stays in play for the moment off of one of the Whalers' defenders, midfielders, and it'll be thrown in by the Hilltoppers off the head all the way down into the zone. Clearing it out there is Noah Medeiros to kind of halt play. And Kyle Neves will throw in again on the far side. Short throw that time. Out of play. And he'll do it again. Looking around. And now he gets the throw in. Popped straight up by Medeiros. Falling. Nobody wants it. That fell between four Whalers. And nobody wanted a piece of it. That one out of play again, and the Hilltoppers will throw in again. So trying to move the ball down here and get something going offensively. Durfee playing from behind in the very early stages here. You know, to be honest, kind of a different look too. I mean, the Hilltoppers bench is on the right, New Bedford's bench on the left. And typically, at least in the one game I'd been to earlier this year when they played Case, Durfee did, you finish, or you're defending in front of your bench first, or at least they did that game. Today they're not. Today they're playing defense in front of the visitors' bench first. So I'm not sure what kind of determines all of that. Alex Cabral sends it down the field right in front of Noah Medeiros. Chasing it down is Jeff Cabral. Comes back the other way. Back and forth we go. Now all the way back to Durfee's side. And sending it out of play to stop play was Kyle Neves. Hilltoppers will get the throw in after that went out of play. Good strong throw along the sidelines, kept in. That's a good feed in front and going to be tested, and it is. Is it going to get cleared? Holy cow, can you believe this? The Hilltoppers come away. Danny Keys with the save of the game so far. Wow. As they say, try again. And if at first you don't succeed, continue to try again. And that was one heck of a save. Danny Keys coming in big time. As the Hilltopper goalie was out of position. In goal there, that's Armando Franco, number 17. So he's the one filling in for Zach Massa. And again, he came out to try to make a play on that. And luckily for him, Danny Keys was there to protect. Everyone lined up. Another corner kick coming for the Whalers. 10 minutes into this one, 1-0 New Bedford. Headed straight up, back towards the corner. And cleared out by Cabral. Alex Cabral, that is. Jeff Cabral has help. 2-on-1. They slow things up. Oh, and the feed to Jonah Andrade. Just a little too fast. Breaking back this side now, Ethan Williams. Gonna loft it straight up. This is not the best positioning. He's going towards the sidelines now. Oh, I thought the Hilltoppers had a great chance there. You had a 2-on-1 advantage, and they kind of slowed up. Chance for Javier Beltran. And it's defended back. Danny Keys making his way forward. That's an open shot, gonna hit it on the ground, and Noah Medeiros clears it out. Goes sailing towards the bleachers. Keys will throw in. Now throw it towards the corner. That goes out of play. This could be a corner kick. Oh, we'll scratch that. And end up being a goal kick, it appears here. Must have gone out off of the Hilltoppers there. Andrade was there. It looked like it might have hit off of the Whaler defender. It was Elmer Barrientos. Hilltoppers going to get it back now. They'll throw in from about the 35-yard line here, kind of 2/3 up the field. Coming right back to Danny, targeting that corner again, and it's going to be another goal kick. Chasing it down is Cameron Montero. And went off the foot there of Zenedine Pina. Nice line drive kick right to the circle off the head of Ethan Williams and back towards into New Bedford's zone. Jeff Cabral looking for Javier Beltran. Couldn't get it to him. Ethan Williams pushing it forward now. Gonna take a shot. Cleared away in a spinning pirouette by Noah Medeiros. Kept in by Cabral and headed into the net. How about that? Ethan Ramos came out to make the play, couldn't get there, and it was headed in for the game-tying goal here 14 minutes in. That was sweet. And it appears that was Jonah Andrade. So tied up at 1. That's a big answer right there for Durfee. Kind of pressing a little bit in the New Bedford zone, trying to put some pressure on after playing defense for the first, say, 5 to 7 minutes. And trying to get something going. That 2-on-1 kind of moved the ball up. And a couple throw-ins, couple chances. Good hustle soccer right there for the Hilltoppers. There's a trip. Going tumbling down there, I believe that was Kyle Neves. And Durfee going to have a free kick here from about the 10-yard line. Outstanding position for a free kick. Blocked by the wall of Whalers. Quick throw in to Jeff Cabral. He loses it. Nilanera. Coming back towards midfield. Whalers looking to push it forward. And taken by Franco. From towards the box, gonna be a foot race. Ball is loose and not kept in. So the Hilltoppers kind of catch a break there. Going to the far side and not kept in. So a whole new ball game after Durfee ties it up just a couple moments ago. Played on a hop by Franco. Danny Keys off the toes to Ethan Williams. Passing to Andrade. Back to Keys. Going to the far side now, try to get some separation, but sent back the other direction. Chasing it down, Damon Green. And he beats Nilanera. Sends it out of play on the goal line. Off of Nera, and it'll be a corner kick. On the ground, not in the air. And that's going long through the uprights. There's a good kick there from the goal. That one got all the way across midfield. Cabral plays it off the back. Medeiros rather was there for the Whalers. And breaking it up there was Muniz. Coming all the way back now towards Durfee's side. Danny Keys was out of play, and it will be another corner kick.
Get it out of there, Red.
Hilltoppers have been tested, that's for sure. Oh boy, headed just over the crossbar there, a couple feet too high, but set up beautifully. The Whalers close to retaking the lead. Hilltoppers catching a little bit of a break there as we reach the halfway mark here in the first half. We are tied at 1. Durfee and New Bedford squaring off in their final matchup of the 2018 regular season. Again, the Hilltoppers already took one from Durfee, and that was the road game. I'm sorry, Hilltops took from New Bedford on the road, and that was a 2-1 win. And now trying to make it a clean sweep of New Bedford with hopefully a win here. Durfee has not picked up a loss. It's been all W's and one tie. 8-0-1 the Hilltoppers are. And they're going to have a free kick. That one coming towards the net, headed out of the box. Whalers defending it well. Ball coming back the other direction. Will it stay in play? No. Waiting on the throw in here. Javier Beltran trying to get it cleared out. He's looking for Jonah Andrade. Couldn't get it to him. Now the Hilltoppers with a throw-in on that far side. Going down for Jeff Cabral. Medeiros heads it out of play. That's a great throw-in from Neves on the far side. He and Keys can really let it fly. As we keep trading possessions, ball doesn't want to stay in play on that far side. Souza will throw in again. Coming back, they go to Williams. Keys on the near side here. Gets the pass, goes back to Williams. A little too far back, and it's taken away by Damon Green. That one skips through.
Yes, I called him Mega.
Guys, you gotta play hard.
Nillen gets beat, but somehow Franco comes away with the save. Coming back to Franco, and he's going to kick it away. Dying at about the 40. Jeff Cabral sent it backwards off the head, and it's cleared back towards midfield. Now Javier Beltran. Ooh, kind of an ugly collision there. Coming in hot was Ethan Williams. Free kick for New Bedford. Nero with a pass on the ground to Keys. Keys playing the sidelines. Andrade gets it towards, that was Ethan Williams. Now Jeff Cabral chasing it down.
Let's go, Red!
Played by Damon Green. Gets the feed, has a chance here. Still with the ball, sends it on the ground, and that is the go-ahead. 2-1 New Bedford. That was well executed right there. And a timeout called by the Hilltoppers. Damon Green putting the Whalers ahead here with 15:55 on the clock in the first half, so 2-1 the score as both teams in the timeout right now. And that's a big second goal for the Whalers. They scored first in that first 3 minutes. Durfee came back to tie it. And now New Bedford, about 10 minutes after Durfee tied it, Bedford retaking the lead. So they've never trailed here in the first half.
You know where Coach Kelly is? And he's touching me.
Hilltoppers and Whalers break the huddle. And Durfee with some work to do again as they find themselves behind for the second time in this contest.
Let's go, Red. Play hard.
Williams gets it to Keys. Oh, and lost it there. It's going to go out of play. Sticking the foot out was Damon Green. He's made a few chances happen for the Whalers and for himself, really, by doing just that, sticking the foot out and trying to break it up. That one going out of play. Ethan DeMello into the game. Not a starter today for the Whalers, but he'll throw in. On the ground off the head of Williams. Cabral to Pina. Now back towards the Whalers. James Matos clearing it out. We'll come back to this side. Right to DeMello. Played back by Neves towards the circle. Beltran trying to stick the foot in, not able to jar it loose, goes out of play, and Durfee will have it in front of the New Bedford bench. Oh no, Whalers will have it. It went out. It must have gone out off of Pina on the far side. So the Whalers trying to move the ball down again. That one going out of play. And it will be a corner kick. Hilltoppers able to clear it away. Jeff Cabral on the run. Clearing it out in front of him was Jacob Ramos. Going to get the ball back. Making the defense work now for the Whalers. A quick transition for the Hilltoppers, trying to move the ball up the other side of the field. A whistle. It's going to be a free kick for the Hilltoppers. Targeting Keys, but he ran up the field and cut him off. And cutting him off was Gil Antunes. Andrade in front, Pina in front. Shot on net. Oh, what a save by Ethan Ramos! Unbelievable save by the freshman goalie for the Whalers. Holy cow. Beltran will kick from the corner in the air and cleared out by the Whalers. That was an amazing save from Ethan Ramos of the Whalers. Keys right back to Beltron. And now a whistle.
Hey, let's go, Red!
Looks like Durfee's gonna have another free kick. And we have 3 soccer balls on the field. Everybody quick to help out. The ball keepers on the sidelines both tossing in different soccer balls. On net and just wide to the right. And it appears that Ramos got a hand on it because we'll have another corner kick. Quickly kicked in. This is interesting here. Trying to catch him napping. Headed in front. Ball is still loose. Keys crossing the box. And lost by Williams. Lost his footing there. Could not control it. Goes out of play. Good opportunity though for Durfee. Now a quick transition the other way. Played onside by Simply Stang. And taken back. Jonah Williams trying to set it up the other way again for Durfee. Pina loses it. Comes back to Durfee's side of the field. And there is Tang. Sticks the foot out. Gets it to DeMello. It goes out of play right in front of us. Kind of a wild 30 seconds right there. Back and forth action. 10 minutes to play in the half, plus a little stoppage time. Jonah Andrade trying to get through. Gets it to Pina. Now back to Andrade. Keys waiting for it. Little lofter towards Jeff Cabral. Heads it back, looking for Pina. And giving chase to the far side now, Christian Souza. Goes out of play. Now a throw in for the Whalers. It did go out off of Souza, so. Neves keeps it in play. Well done there. Coming to the near side now. Jordinier de Pina loses it for the Whalers, and the Hilltoppers will throw in. And Danny Keys will throw in now. Didn't get as good a distance on that throw, and I'm not sure if the ball slipped out of his hand. Again, it could be kind of damp. The field, I'm sure, drying out a bit now that the sun has been out for about an hour. But, you know, with the amount of rain we got earlier, I'm sure there are still some damp spots, and I'm sure the ball is getting wet as it's been on the turf. Back towards DePina. Keys jars it loose before he can get set. Goes to Williams. Williams trying to get it through. Cannot. Goes down to the ground with a little bit of a limp. Might have gotten hit in the shin bone. Still hurting a bit, but trying to shake it off. Gets trapped, and now a whistle.
He's on the ground. He's on the ground. He's on the ground. How can that be their possession?
Coach Mello on the far sidelines is incensed right now. He is not happy. Free kick for the Whalers. That's going wide right. Well to the right. Actually, I take that back. I don't think that was Tiberio. I think that was one of our assistant coaches for the Hilltoppers. And the goal kick for Franco. That one sent back towards the defense. Playing it was the goalie there, Ramos. Oh, a collision there, and that draws a whistle and a free kick for the Hilltoppers. Both sides kind of chirping at the officials. Every time there's a whistle, we see hands going up in the air like, what did I do? Ironically, coming from the players who didn't commit the fouls. That's actually what's comical about it. Sent ahead towards Pina. Plays it off the chest. Gets it to Andrade. Andrade sending it the other side of the field. Out of reach. Beltran couldn't get the foot out there far enough. Overshot him just astride. Sent towards center by Barrientos. Oh, excuse me, that was Ramos. Ramos sent it towards center. Now we're back in his side of the field. Been a very well-contested game here so far. So we are just minutes away from halftime. Keys sending it towards the sidelines, looking for Andrade. He finds him. Andrade trying to get by the defenders, and overshooting it was Muniz. So Williams goes to the far side, now sent towards the box. Sent back up the field now by Alex Cabral. But I mean, when I say well contested, both teams playing on both sides of the ball. Both offenses, both defenses getting a lot of touches here. So play's been pretty evenly split for both sides of the field. New Bedford with the 2-1 lead. There's a check, and that's going to be a free kick. That one being called on Pina. Pretty blatant right there. Easy call for the officials. Plays it off the chest. Going to try to work backwards. Got it to Williams, who sends it down the field in front of DeMello of the Whalers, looking for Andrade. Andrade is there. Little body check goes out of play. Durfee will throw in. Jeff Cabral goes around the defender, gets tripped up for a sec, still on his feet, cleared away. And a free kick coming for Durfee. Towards the net, stopped by Ramos. As he goes falling down, Keys with it, trying to recenter, can't get free, coming towards the sidelines. Turns it back around and waiting for one of the Whalers defenders to clear it out. And we've had a lot of whistles lately. A lot of stops here for fouls, free kicks. The aggressive play here ramping up between these two rivals. Two minutes left in the first half. Coming towards the near side to Keys. We have a Whaler down on the ground. That looks to be Damon Green. And he is in some pain. Here comes Kelly Mahoney, our trainer, on the cart to tend to him. We'll pause and we'll be back with the end of the first half on Fred TV. A quick injury timeout there as Green left the field walking under his own power, so that's a good sign. And so again, we're in the final 2 minutes of this first half. 2-1 New Bedford. And a free kick coming here for the Hilltoppers. Keys will do the honors from the 45-yard line. Good kick all the way down into the box. Loose ball in front, and missing the header was, looked like Kuchar, Nathan Kuchar. Had a great opportunity there, but just mistimed it a little bit. And out of play it goes. Durfee ball, Neves will throw in. Played in the circle, skipped through, now fed to the near side here to DePina. Trying to break through the Hilltoppers' D, going to go to the air. And going towards the sidelines now. And an offsides. Oh no, it's going to be a free kick. No offsides. Free kick for the Hilltoppers. DePina plays it off the knee, Andre takes it away, lofts it towards Jeff Cabral there, plays it off the chest, sending it now to Pina, back to Cabral, takes a shot, and it's played by Ramos, who will drop kick it away in a moment. That one, a good kick bouncing on Durfee's side of the field. Now the Hilltopper down after kind of going tumbling. Play continuing here, very close to the end of this first half. That was Neves that went down. He's back up though. Okay, there goes down to the far side now and out of play. And that is the first half. So 2-1 New Bedford after 40 minutes of play. We'll have the second half next on Fred TV. We hope you stick around. We've had a fun first half. Second half next. The second half underway here at Mac Aldrich Field, home of the Hilltoppers. Evan Massoud with you on Fred TV for Big 3 boys soccer. The Hilltoppers find themselves down a goal, and they've never led in this one. They've trailed the whole time except for about a 10-minute period where the game was tied. So Durfee with some work to do here in the second half. Again, down there, starting goalie due to an injury. Zach Massa was pulled 3 minutes into the game, and that's when the first goal was allowed by the Hilltoppers. It came on a collision there with Massa and the goal scorer for New Bedford. Durfee came back almost halfway through the first half and was able to tie the game up, and then with about the 25th minute of the game, New Bedford pulled back in front. Damon Green doing the honors for the Whalers, and that's where we stand. Durfee with some great opportunities in the final couple minutes of the first half, but they couldn't cash in. So Armando Franco back in goal for Durfee. Again, next man up, stepping in there for Zach Massa. There's Jeff Cabral. Comes back towards center, though. But, I mean, nonetheless, regardless of the score, this has really been a very entertaining game. That first half was, high test, high-paced, fast-paced, I should say, and high energy. So really a good first half. I'm sure that both coaches would agree that there's some work to do. Some of the passing. One of the things I was a little surprised about is Cabral takes a shot. It's going to go wide and far right. In particular, is when the ball's up in the air, it seems like there's been some hesitancy for the players to go and play the ball. There were a couple instances where the ball was straight up, and see, for example, there was one spot where 4 different Whalers were right there, and none of them went for it. It just dropped on the ground. So a little surprising. I wouldn't say lack of aggressiveness, because both sides playing tough, but just not normal. I mean, don't be afraid of the ball. Go for the ball. And we saw that from the Hilltoppers maybe 1 or 2 times in the first half as well. So if I had to, nitpick, I would say that's one of the things is, don't be afraid of the ball. Go to the ball. So, everybody's kind of spreading the field out a bit. It seems like everybody's had touches. They're trying to find the open man, kind of like that. Unfortunately, kind of shifted the wrong way. Hilltopper down in the middle of the field again. I think that might be Williams. You see one of the Whalers players go and check on him. We'll have another stoppage here for injury. That was Williams, and he's okay now. He kind of got banged up at the end of the first half as well, and he stayed in there. One of the officials talking with Coach Massaraco on the far side. That's why we're still paused here. And now play will resume with the Whalers throwing in. Next home game for Durfee will be Tuesday against BR. Weather permitting, we'll cover that game here on Fred TV. And I say weather permitting because, again, it's been rare instances, but this fall we've had a couple of postponements for soccer due to weather, and normally that is just not the case. Soccer is one of those sports typically play in everything, but had to make some postponements. So weather permitting, Tuesday we will be back here for more boys soccer, and Tuesday the 23rd, a week from Tuesday, is listed as senior night against Brockton. It's a tentative senior night, regardless it's Big 3 play, and we'll have that one as well, weather permitting. Season winding down. Hilltoppers with some road games mixed in there. Dartmouth and Somerset Berkeley. Good rivalry games with local teams. Local opponents we see often. For the New Bedford Whalers, after today's game, they have 3 straight home games: Seekonk, Brockton, and Fairhaven. Then a couple road games. They finish at home against BC High on the 27th, which is a Saturday, before heading on the road for the regular season finale against Attleboro. So they got kind of a stacked schedule as well. I would venture to say Durfee's a little easier. BC High, very tough no matter what sport. Attleboro, tough. Whereas, the Hilltoppers, they're playing, they got Dartmouth, Somerset. Those games could really go either way. They have a game against Diamond still on the schedule as well. So not taking anything away from some of the lower division teams, but for the Hilltoppers, I would say they have the weaker schedule over New Bedford. Cut off there by Souza. Going over the box, Jeff Cabral in front, hooks it, and it goes over the crossbar. A tremendous opportunity for Jeff Cabral to tie it up, and it goes too high. Good chance, though, for Durfee. You say it over and over again, the more shots you take on net, sooner or later something's going to go in, and the same holds true for hockey. You got to shoot the puck. Here, you got to kick the ball on net, and sooner or later they will go in. Just got to get more of those opportunities. That one going wide left, off the foot of Souza. Good, strong goal kick. This one's going to land past midfield. Played off the head of Nilanera. Also there was Simply Stang for the Whalers. Again, we switched sides with the second half here, so Durfee trying to move the ball from right to left. New Bedford moving the ball from left to right. And a whistle. Oh, that's a little extra. I'm surprised we didn't see any cards coming from that. That was just a little extra there. Interesting to note, which we found out pre-game. Credits to our Fred TV camera guy today, Justin Arujo, a senior at Durfee, big-time soccer fan. And he was telling me pre-game that the Hilltoppers cannot get any more red cards. They already have 2. If they get 3, doesn't matter what the record, they can't play in the postseason. So got to keep your wits about you, because that would be a major blow on a season that's been tremendously successful so far for the Hilltoppers. Moving it up for Jeff Cabral, cleared away by Medeiros, and it stays in play too. So well done by Medeiros to break that up. Andrade kicks it. Goes out of play, and Durfee will throw in. Keys from the far side. All the way down the field, and it will stay. I was going to say it would stay in play, but it did trickle out. Unable to get there was Tang. Coming towards middle of the field. The Whalers pushing forward. Jason Oliveira, he lost it, got tripped up. Play resumes, no whistles. That was cut off by Muniz. Now Williams on this side. And he's gonna gain the free kick. He didn't even go down. And well, they're calling this on.
Give him a card.
It will be a free kick for Durfee. Beltran will kick it away. We'll go to the far side towards Nilanera. On the ground towards the corner, foot race. Chasing it down is Pina, and he goes out of play.
Center it.
Back down towards midfield. Nera plays it back. Franco clears it. Booming kick. Oh, boy. That one went a long way. Cabral with a chance going against the freshman goalie, and Ramos scoops it out of the air. He'll throw it in instead of kicking. Marcel Souza will throw in. Play spoiled by Nera. Got the feet in there and took it away from Daniel Soares. Another good kick from Franco. Letting it fly here. Oh, that's a handball. Absolutely. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Pina with the handball as it bounced up and hit him. Kind of dribbled it almost like a basketball. Whalers going to play it back, let the defense send it back up. That was Medeiros. Going the other way, our official scampering out of the way of the ball. He was like chasing it to the sidelines to try to get out of play. Would have been better for him to just stand there and wait for it to go by. Oh, that's funny. Medeiros now with it, kicking it forward. I'm sorry, that wasn't Medeiros. That was Souza. And he gets it back. Marcel Souza down in the air off of Neves. Sent back off the head of Soares. And we have Oliveira and Neves going at it. It'll be New Bedford ball. Souza will throw it in. Shadows creeping in. You see kind of a shaded area there where Franco and the goal is. Those are the shadows coming in off of the west side of the hilltop of Durfee High School. I was going to say the Hilltoppers building. I don't know where that comes from. The west side, the trade winds there off of Wiedemo Street. So the building starting to cast some shadows can make it a little bit tricky. Oh, goodness gracious, tumbling down, looking for a call was Muniz, but he's the one who went up in the air. That one going out on the side. And Marcel Souza making his way all the way back down this end, and he'll throw in. Lofted to Oliveira, back to Souza. We see Oliveira and Souza and Matos in this general area going tumbling down. Play will continue. Tang, a centering pass. He was looking for Soares, wasn't there. It actually hooked to the left. A Hilltopper still down on the ground. That's Neves. Second time he's gone down in the game. Play continues. Both sides going to be banged up a bit before this one's done. Already are. You just hope no one gets seriously hurt, or no one else gets seriously hurt. Again, Zach Massa, the sophomore goalie for the Hilltoppers, went down in the first 3 minutes of the game after a collision that scored a goal for the Whalers, and he has not come back to the field.
Come on, pass it quicker. They all want to get down the guy. Pass it. One touch pass.
Keys with the throw in. We know Keys has a strong arm because saw him last year with volleyball in the spring. Looking forward to spring volleyball again at the end of the school year. Of course, we just started the school year. Not getting too far ahead. Just saying in general, boys volleyball was a lot of fun last year. Their first ever outright Big Three championship. They swept the Big Three. It was really a great season for the boys. And Keys. That's on the ground, and that's going to tie it up. Beautiful from Javier Beltran. 2-2 the score in the second. That was just outstanding. And you know, honestly, he was kind of crossing the box, and I think the fact that he was crossing had Ramos kind of leaning a little bit, and it opened up that other corner. So he went to the opposite side. That was outstanding. Durfee ties it up halfway through the second half. Hilltoppers with one tie on the season and 8 wins to go along with it. No losses. And that goal could go a long way to keeping a 0 in the loss column. This one far from over, but that was a big goal for the Hilltoppers. Matos sends it back. There is Beltran, who just had it skip off the top of the foot towards his forwards, and now, I'm sorry, towards his defenders, rather. Now the Whalers trying to move it up the other side. Keys, who I was talking about before that goal, we're saying about volleyball, because with the throw-ins for Keys, I mean, he's got good arm strength because, boy, he had some vicious spikes when he was playing there at the front line for boys volleyball last spring. He and Nilanera and Joe Camara, of course. I mean, those three were really tough up front. Of course, Joe graduating in the spring. God, it's weird. It's going to be very strange doing a basketball game or a volleyball game and not mentioning a Camara. Between Joe and Brianna, his sister, I got to call games for both of them while they were here. Millen getting it to Williams. Williams going to send it up ahead, looking for Souza. Souza going up against Souza. They get it back to Kuchar. Centering pass towards the box. Oh my goodness! Almost put in by the Whalers on their own goal. Off the crossbar. You can't make this stuff up. Wow. How bad would that have been for the Whalers, who, I mean, halfway through the season, I don't want to say clinging to life, but at 4-4-2, not the best place to be. And if they lose this game, I mean, a tie is better than a loss, but they really need to win this game, New Bedford does, to really keep pace in the Big Three. You don't want to lose 2 games to Durfee. And that was almost a major blunder. We're past the halfway mark, though, in the second half. 2-2 the score, about 18 minutes to play in the game. Evan Massoud with you on Fred TV. Durfee, New Bedford doesn't get much better than this. Might as well be 0-0 right now. Tie game's a whole new ball game. And a whistle, 2 Whalers down on the ground. And we'll have a free kick for New Beige. Second half going quite a bit faster. We haven't really had too many injury timeouts. Again, play stopped a couple times in that first half. Again, almost really right at the beginning of the game, especially when Massa went down, and probably added about 10 extra minutes to the first half. Not necessarily in game time, but just overall. And again, right after this, the football team will warm up for their final regular season game. Because week 7, they have a bye week next week. This is week 6, and they're facing Brockton. So they'll be hitting the field right after this game concludes, and that game will come to you on Fred TV as well later this week. Again, we have 3 games going on this Friday afternoon here at Durfee. If you're seeing this, it's already past the weekend, so we hope that you had a great weekend. But this is action from Friday, the 12th. And this is the first game of this triple header. I'm outside here for the Big 3 game. And we have Justin Arujo running camera. We have girls volleyball happening inside the field house against New Bedford. Big 3 action. Brendan Kelly, the boys volleyball coach, heading and leading the commentary for that one, with Jake Fitzgerald running camera. And then when football happens here right after this game for Friday Night Lights, I'll be with the call of that game, and we'll have one of our alums back, Ryan Pino. He'll be working camera along with a couple of our current Fred TV students, learning from him. So, just right out of the gate here with all 3 of these games, a lot of programming running this week on Fred TV, and just want to give a quick shout out and thanks to the great crew, and especially to Brendan Kelly as well, taking on the role to broadcast the volleyball match, stepping in for me while I'm out here doing these other 2. It's probably one of the busiest sports days that I've had here in the 6+ years I've been doing this. So Really appreciate the team effort here between our students, our alumni, our staff members, and of course, Brendan. He did some games with me last year. Chance for the Hilltoppers. Jeff Cabral spins, no good. Couldn't get his footing down. Brendan did a couple games with me, a couple matches last fall, and he really enjoyed it. And he says, "Oh yeah, I'll take the reins. I'll take the reins for you." So he was all too happy to step in. So we appreciate BK stepping in there, Brendan Kelly. James Matos talking a little trash to the Hilltoppers. Not really turning any heads, though. And a chance for Beltran here, a free kick from the 35-yard line. Everybody moving downfield. 15 minutes to play in the game. Hilltoppers sporting some new jerseys this year as well. It's like new varsity jerseys kind of all around because football, especially, with the new jerseys, I think they look awesome. I guess there's been some mixed reviews. You can judge for yourself. We have 2 football games we've already done here at home, and we'll have, of course, the Brockton one on this week as well from Friday. But as a broadcaster, Cabral sends it towards the net, and it is scooped by Ramos. As a broadcaster, the black-on-black unis from the last couple years that the football team wore at home were really cool-looking jerseys, cool-looking uniforms. They had the numbers were kind of italicized, and they had a gradient to them from red to black. They looked cool, don't get me wrong, but as a broadcaster, and particularly once the lights come on and you get glare, that gradient, trying to read those numbers was just god-awful. It was so difficult. I even could recall myself saying last season, we were up on the roof, and I said, goodness, I started wondering if my eyesight was going. I've never had a problem with my eyesight, but I started wondering, chance for Beltran, and he misses. But I thought my eyesight was going on me here, and got to Diamond to do a Diamond game the next week from here because Diamond's field was being redone. When the jerseys came in, I said, I can read fine. I guess it's the jerseys. So this year, red jerseys for the Hilltoppers with straight numbers, regular font, no gradient. You can actually read the numbers really well. And honestly, we sport red and black. Durfee's all about the red and black. I like seeing the red jerseys with the black pants for the Hilltoppers. That's just me. People will debate all day long about everything, so. Great chance again for Durfee there as Beltran almost got his 2nd straight goal in a matter of 10 minutes or so. Couldn't get it in, though. The Hilltoppers definitely putting some pressure on the Whalers here in the second half, especially since tying it up over the last 10 minutes. That one sailing and coming out of play. Jeff Cabral's been playing up front as well, and hasn't really had any great looks to. He's taken a couple of shots on net, but nothing spectacular for him today. And I only mention it because he's had such a great season. Like I said, earlier in the broadcast, he's been in the Herald News a couple times. I scrolling through Facebook, and I follow the HN Now page, which is the Herald News Facebook page, and continuously his photo pops up on boys soccer matches here and boys soccer games, and he continues to have big games for Durfee. Oh, and he gets tangled up with Christian Souza, his own player. They had a chance to kind of spread it out in the box there and maybe take a shot on net. Bedford going to have a free kick here. Again, Durfee has not seen Brockton yet this season for boys soccer because the game earlier in the year had to be postponed. We come up on the 10-minute marker. 10 minutes to play. Lofted towards the net. Franco with the grab in the air. So it's been all Durfee, New Bedford boys soccer. Another great kick. Boy, I'm really impressed by Franco getting it down the field on some of these drop kicks. Really letting it fly. Again, in particular in the second half, maybe the breeze is blowing that way a little bit. Actually, it does seem like it might be just the slightest breeze. But really impressive. The ball traveling very well off the leg of Franco. You're hearing that in the background. It's just the radios, the walkie-talkie. Athletic Director Buston left his in here. Not sure if he remembered that he did. He might have forgotten. So if you hear that, that's just the radio communicating. Typically, it's just him and our trainer there, Kelly Mahoney. And again, she's been busy with all these games going on. A couple injuries here on this field. I did hear something earlier that there may have been an injury in that volleyball match. Couldn't hear it fully, so you'll have to tune into that match to see if there was. But it sounded like there was. Sliding down is Williams looking for a call. No call. No whistles. We continue play. Swords with a chance, and oh, it goes wide to the left. And Gil Antunes was there too. All he had to do was stick the foot out and tap it in. Toppers catch a major break. And down in the box to the right of the goal, another Hilltopper. The official calling for the golf cart. And the trainer, so Kelly Mahoney. Boy, this has been an intense game, let me tell you. That was Alex Cabral grabbing his left, it's like the quad. Not sure if he hyperextended it or if it's just a cramp. Coach Mello out there with him. Cabral limping off the field, still grabbing his left thigh there, the quad area. And now he's going to be helped off the field. If he's not able to return, that could be a big loss defensively for Durfee over the final 8 minutes or so. Back to the field. Play will resume with a goal kick from Franco. And it'll bounce out of play. That one out of play on the near side. And Souza will throw in for the Whalers. Oh, Williams going down again. Man, he's spent a lot of time on the turf this afternoon, either losing his footing or getting knocked down. Been a rough game for him. Souza takes a shot towards the box. And I think being called offsides with Soares. Well, oh no, probably 22 there, Oliveira, because he was much further down the field than Soares was. That one off the head of Ramos. Jacob Ramos, that is. Keys taps it towards Pina. Pina loses it for a second. Calling for it was Beltran. It went to the sidelines instead, in the vicinity there of Andrade. 5 minutes to play, or thereabouts. Again, we had kind of a break there as well a couple minutes ago for Cabral when he was down for the count. So we'll say about 5 minutes to play. We're still tied 2-2. Last chance for both sides to try to pull ahead here and take a big win, or what would be a big win in the Big Three. And both sides have had their chances for sure, and particularly, again, I think back to a couple open shots that Durfee had that didn't go in, and in particular the near miss there from New Bedford where they almost put it into their own net. Still can't believe that almost happened. I mean, we were talking, that was off the crossbar of the net. I mean, an inch and a half lower, and it could have bounced downward instead of up, and you're looking at the Durfee Hilltoppers with a lead thanks to a major error. Luckily for the Whalers, it didn't happen. But boy, they certainly flirting with danger. Down the field, Nilanera on the run, getting there first is, that was Tang. Ball still loose in front, Tang back to get it. Franco coming out, a whiff, and he falls on it. How about that save from Franco with Tang's foot and leg in his face, somehow able to make the play. Souza down the line, that was to Diarujo. Oh, cleared out. Cabral had an opportunity there, but it was cleared out before he could set, as he was lined up right in front. On that last save by Franco, you may have noticed some action behind the net there down that right side of the field. That's the football team making their way out. They'll be ready for warm-ups here very shortly. Coming up on the 2-minute marker here in about 20 seconds. Now I'm hearing music that's actually the other side of the field. Now I don't know if that's, I think that's the New Bedford JV team, because we saw some of the JV players from Durfee make their way over to the homestand here. I think the game already ended. Chance in front, ball on the ground, and scooped by Ramos. For a minute I thought it was Brockton, because Brockton always brings a chance. And I said maybe they're here a little early for football. Seemed kind of unlikely, but we know for basketball in particular, for girls basketball, when Brockton comes to the field house, they always have the chants going and the cheers and the music. And they really get into it, I'll tell you, more than probably any other opponent we see. Franco out of the net, and it's going to go wide to the left. Again, we're into the final 2 minutes here. Clock is stopped to see how much added time the officials make up for on the field in terms of stoppage time. Souza lofts it. It's heading towards the sidelines. DePina plays it out of play. Durfee will get to throw in. And unless something major changes here, looking more likely, more and more like a tie for the Hilltoppers and the Whalers, but we'll see. That's cleared out. That was a chance for Diarujo. Now he's just into the game, so I think he came in when Cabral went out, but would have liked to see him pass it down. He had Cabral to his left, had Andrade breaking up on the far side of the field. Now a free kick from the 30, and Franco takes it. Played off of the chest of Cabral. Ball still in the air. Sent towards the box. Andrade giving chase. Going to be cleared out to the right and out of play on the sidelines. Andrade still with it. Gets through two Whalers defenders towards the net, and it goes off the head and out of play. Another great chance for Durfee. Nera giving chase. Centering pass, and DePina loses it. No whistles. And the whole New Bedford sideline cannot believe it. And that was in the box. That might have resulted in a penalty kick. So I think the Hilltoppers just got away with one big time. That one soaring to the other side and bouncing almost into the stands. This one's got to be close to over. The clock's been stopped for about 2 minutes here. And it appears we've got a timeout. Timeout here in the, man oh man, in the final seconds of the game. Not something you normally see unless as Coach Massaraco came out to talk to the officials. I think that was really the thought here, was probably wanted to say something to the officials. You see all the coaches for New Bedford out on the field. So again, coming into play, New Bedford was 4-3-2. They lost to Durfee 2-1 on their home field. Earlier in the season, Durfee 8-0-1, have not lost, only the one tie, and are 1-0 in the Big Three. Right now tied 2-2 with just seconds to play here at McAldrich Field. So Durfee would have preferred a win, I'm sure, but it's looking like a tie for New Bedford. A tie is going to be like a win for them because they could not afford to lose a second game to Durfee. And again, I say that assuming things will remain the way they are. Anything could happen, but especially once you get down into the final 2 minutes in a game like this where it's been back and forth, chances are it's going to probably stay this way. Don't usually see anything major happening in the final seconds. Just about ready for play to resume. There'll be a throw in for Keys. That's a great throw in, almost 20 plus yards there. Got sent back off the head. Pena trying to get around the Hilltoppers defenders. There was Kuchar and Beltran. Now going to the far corner into the shade. Sent out of play by Keys. Another throw in for the Whalers. Keys sending it down past midfield. Chasing it down, Souza. Free kick for the Whalers coming. Souza quickly takes it, gets it to Jacob Matos, who sends it to the far side. Lofted towards the box. Still in play. Oh, wide to the left. And he missed it. He knows he did. He knows he did. A wide open left side. And the Whalers fail to take the lead in the final seconds. Unbelievable. We've seen a little of everything here today. What is going on? Again, soccer balls flying left and right. The official just walking down the field on the near side. I thought it was a goal kick for the Hilltoppers. Now someone with the ball down on the near side. What is going on? Whalers kicking from their box. All kinds of crazy, I'll tell you. Beltran tied it up for the Hilltoppers. He's at midfield here. That one out of play, a throw in. Played back to midfield. Pena off the head again. That's the ball game. The Hilltoppers avoid a loss. They pick up their second tie of the season in a very hard-fought battle on both sides. This was really an intense soccer game. Pretty crazy here at Mac Aldridge Field this afternoon. 2-2 the final score here at Durfee High School. Hilltoppers improved to 8-0-2. And the Whalers 4-3-3. They pick up their third tie already on the season, just halfway through this regular season. 10 games in the books, 10 games to go for the Durfee boys. Again, weather permitting, we'll have more boys soccer next Tuesday when the BR Trojans head to Fall River from Bridgewater. Until then, Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee High School.